Hey y'all, hey, I'm back here with another video. So I'm literally doing it this way because I just wanted to get this off my chest and I don't really feel like hooking up and sitting at my computer, but whatever. But okay, so I know that I don't watch SmackDown. I just like try to catch the highlights, but I know that The Rock just recently came on and did like a whole little quick segment with Cody. And I know people were pissed. Like, I only knew about this segment because I was on Twitter and I saw that people were pissed about it. I think that they cut out like I believe like a match or two, and then even some of the women's matches, so that The Rock could come on and do his whole little segment, which was like 18 minutes. To be fair to the people who are criticizing that segment, I do think that a lot of time was wasted, and it really probably could have been shortened down to maybe like 10 minutes maybe versus like 18, because a lot of it was just him like just really talking. I will say that I know people are mad that like it's going back to New Orleans. I think WrestleMania for like the third time in the last, what they said, like 10 or 12 years. But as somebody who just got back into wrestling in the last year or some change, I'm really excited because I've never been to New Orleans. I wanted to go to New Orleans this year to go see Beyonce, but she's not going to New Orleans, so I'm going to DC to go see her. So I was gonna try to see if I could go to Vegas this year, but I'm actually perfectly fine with waiting and going to NOLA next year. I also, as a first time, like as a person that's like just now getting back into wrestling, did not realize how much WrestleMania tickets were. I did not realize that they were the same amount as the fucking Super Bowl. So I'll have a little bit more time to kind of like see what's the latest I can get tickets. Cause my thing is like, even if I don't go to WrestleMania, I at least want to be in like town when it happens, right? So we'll see about that. But so I just finished watching the segment between The Rock and Cody Rhodes. So obviously The Rock comes out, he talks about WrestleMania being in NOLA, next year in 2026. Then he talks about how he wants to have a conversation with somebody, brings Cody out. And he's pretty much just saying to Cody, like, you're here. But if you fuck with me, like if we just really like just do this at WrestleMania, I could take you from here to here. And I know a lot of people didn't like that segment, but I'm going to tell you what I took from that segment. I don't think that The Rock lied throughout that entire segment talking to Cody, because essentially what he was saying is that, Cody, you're big within the WWE universe. That's how big you are that guy here. The same way that I'm that guy here. The same way that Cena is that guy here. But the difference between me and you, Cody, like he said, is that you're here and I'm here. And if you fuck with me and just follow my ways or follow what I'm trying to teach you, I can take you from here to here. And I would like to say, as somebody who just got back into wrestling since last WrestleMania, so it's been almost a year. I'm gonna do like a year review video once WrestleMania is over. But as somebody that's just gotten back into wrestling, I had not watched wrestling. The last time I probably watched wrestling was probably like 08, 09, possibly, and that might be a stretch for real, as the last time I was actually like into wrestling. So I grew up, like I told y'all before, in the Attitude Era and in the like what's the one, the Attitude Era, and then the Ruthless Aggression Era, right? Past that, I didn't really know much. And I can honestly say that I never, and I said this on a lot of my videos, and people like don't believe me, but I'm serious, I've never heard of Cody Rhodes until I started watching wrestling again. As I said before, the only person I can really think of that jumps out of my head, like in the last, I'd say from like, again, if I'm thinking from the time span that I didn't watch it, which is long as hell, but let's say like 2010 to 2024, the only person's name, although I did not watch wrestling, that I like heard of was CM Punk and The Miz. And The Miz mostly because I watched the challenge, so I was like, familiar with him in that way. But I never in my life heard of Cody Rhodes. And like a little bit before I started watching wrestling over the last couple of years, I kind of like saw Rhea Ripley, but I didn't know her name. But the point of the matter is that I don't think that The Rock didn't lie. The point of the matter is that Cody Rhodes, and I know this is not going to sit well with wrestling fans, but I want you guys to understand something. Cody Rhodes is not a mainstream name. He is not a name that the average person who knows nothing about wrestling or has no connection to wrestling knows about. I was talking to my mom again earlier, maybe like a week ago or something, telling her like how I wanted to go to WrestleMania, all this other stuff. Now, my mom knows nothing about wrestling other than like maybe past what happened again in like '05 or something. So again, she's familiar with who The Rock is because when The Rock was wrestling, that was her favorite person. And then obviously she wasn't watching wrestling when Cena was wrestling, but she knows that he's a wrestler. And that's what I'm talking about. You don't have to, being mainstreams, especially as a WWE act, means that the casual person who has never maybe seen you fight a day in your life has an understanding of who you are in a sense of, oh, you're a wrestler, you come from WWE. So that's The Rock, that's Cena, that's Batista, hell, that's Goldberg, for God's sake. And it's not Cody Rhodes. So I know a lot of people did not like that segment, but I think what The Rock was saying was real shit to Cody. Cody, we can leave you right here where you are, and if you're comfortable being, like he said, their champs, talking about the WWE fan in the WWE universe, if you're cool with just being famous right here and having success just right here, then cool. But if you want to get on my level, and when he was like, bro, I got 500 million like followers to your, like, I don't know, what did he say, 1 million or something like that? We're 1 million or a little bit over that. Like, I'm literally the most followed person. Like, I think he said on Instagram, or one of the most followed people. He's definitely one of the top paid actors in Hollywood. Like, if somebody's, the Rock's bag right now, like, for a role is insane. It's insane. And he literally laid the pathwork for like what Cena is trying to do, what Batista is trying to do. Like, they're trying to get there. But what that means is that his brand, right, as The Rock, was so huge and extended beyond wrestling. And that's what Cody needs. I personally feel like Jey Uso has that type of brand as well. I do think the whole Yeet thing could kind of like date Jey Uso a little bit, but I do feel like he has that like brand as well. But I think the point of the matter is that The Rock was trying to say, bruh, you want to try to get on my level? You want to kind of get where I am? You want to get where Cena's at? You want to get where Batista's at? You're going to have to fuck with me. Meaning, if you fight, because it's been this whole big thing about whether or not it's going to be like Roman versus Rock or The Rock versus Cody, like which one kind of makes more sense. And I think The Rock's point was like, Cody, if you fight me, which he said, I'm going to take you from here to here. Because what he means by that is that the average person who does not know shit about the everyday going-ons of wrestling will see that The Rock is wrestling, be like, oh, let me check in, see that he's fighting this person that they've never heard of, but now they're wondering, oh, who is this person that The Rock is fighting? Again, I always keep bringing this up. As somebody that I started watching wrestling again, maybe towards the end of Saturday night, but mostly like I watched Sunday, because Saturday night I was like just jumping in because I saw everybody talking about it. But one of the main things that caught me, because I didn't know anybody at the time, outside of like me understanding as time went on, like the lineage of everybody, is the reaction to Cody Rhodes coming out. Cody coming out and everybody doing the, I said, oh, this guy's huge. Who is he? Who is he? Then, realize like who his father is, all this other stuff. But it was all of the other things as a casual fan or somebody who didn't really pay attention that brought me in. And again, that's going to be people from the past, which is The Rock, The Undertaker. I know a lot of like people who watch wrestling like all the time every week felt like I think maybe like The Rock and The Undertaker were in the same like we're in the ring, whatever, and people's like, oh, it didn't make sense, it was stupid. But it's like, yeah, for you guys it was stupid, but for the average person who does not watch wrestling all the time, that was a moment that was great. I thought that was great. I thought that was like the best part of WrestleMania last year, was having them two in the ring together. personally. But again, that's because I was a casual at the time. Now again that I've been kind of watching a little bit more consistently, I'm way more familiar with the people that are in the WWE. I think I said this before, I did a video on me watching wrestling for like the last maybe like 6 months and some of my thoughts, and I spent a large section on how I feel like the WWE doesn't have superstars anymore. Like, how to say WWE superstars? No, superstars meaning you transcend wrestling. Stone Cold Steve Austin was so damn big that he transcended the WWE. Now, granted, he didn't necessarily go into like acting and stuff like that, but he did. Hulk Hogan is a great example of that. Hulk Hogan started wrestling when I wasn't even born. Literally started wrestling in the 80s. By the time I'm alive, Hulk Hogan is in his NWO like era or whatever. But it's crazy how like today in 2025 you may have never seen Hulk Hogan wrestle a day in your life, but you're aware that he's a wrestler. You get that. You know that. And that's where Cody, I think, deserves to be. And I think that's what Rock is saying. I will say this personally, right? I think that CM Punk, to me, has a better future with acting, just because although I know he like is acting, when he's doing his speeches, they come off real as hell. And maybe because he's saying some real shit, and maybe that's why people fell in love with him. But CM Punk always comes off very authentic in everything he's saying, versus Cody always comes off very rehearsed, like, I'm trying to be what do y'all call it, the baby face. Like, I'm trying to be the baby face. I'm trying to be like the American, here, I am a real American, fight for all right for every man. Like, he's trying. It comes off to me, as somebody that's been watching this for the past year, that Cody is acting like it. Like, you can tell that his lines are rehearsed. It doesn't come off naturally and like fluid the way maybe like I said CM Punk does, or even like Seth Rollins. Like, although he is over dramatic, in his presentation, I believe the shit that comes out of Seth's mouth. Maybe it's because he really believes it, but when Cody talks, I don't necessarily always believe him. Now, when he did his whole little back and forth with CM Punk, that was probably the realest I ever felt like I saw Cody, ever. And when he put Kevin through that damn table, that's what I felt like was real Cody. All of this other like posturing shit, I don't think is for him. And I think that right now, the way that the WWE is like expanding, internationally, globally, with the whole Netflix deal with them and their whole deal with Saudi Arabia, and going from here and here and here, and even having like there's way more international wrestlers than there were like when I was growing up. I think right now is the time for Cody to seize the moment, to be like, you have to, if you want to be The Rock, if you want to be Cena, you have to literally emit so much star power that it crosses outside of the WWE. You have to. And I feel like there's no better time than right now to show your ass, Cody. Show your ass in the best way possible. Get with your branding team. Get with the WWE. I don't care if they don't want to help you. Get with your own damn branding team and figure out, how can we take this shit from here to fucking here? And if that means possibly fighting The Rock, whether it makes sense or not to the rest of the fucking fans, it might be what we have to do. Might possibly be. We have Netflix now, although Cody is not on Raw. Still, we can take advantage of the whole Netflix deal situation. And even when like when The Rock started talking, he first started talking about how like, he's like on the board member or whatever. I mean, he's a board member, and how the owner of the WWE said, I can't, like, he said to the Rock said to him, I can't believe, like, you're the WWE owner. And he was like, bruh, you're really the owner. And he stopped. And what The Rock was saying is that Cody, you can be me. Like, you can be me if you just follow the ways. If you listen to what I'm trying to show you, like what I'm trying to tell you, and follow the steps, you eventually can be the person that has the most fucking followers. You could be the person that's getting hundreds of millions of dollars for a film. You could be the person that fucking runs the WWE. You can be that person. But we gotta elevate it a little bit more. We got to turn up the notch a little bit more. And I think this kind of ties back to what CM Punk was saying to Cody, which is like, Cody, you seem exhausted. Like, and I feel like everything that CM Punk said to Cody Rhodes that night was real shit. Like, it takes a lot to be that guy. It's not like a small task. And mind you, Cody, look how hard you gotta work to just be that guy in the WWE universe. Imagine what it's gonna be like when you're that guy, period. When you are sitting with the Cenas and the Rocks and the Batistas and all of those other people that are outside, that, like, you know, make moves outside of the WWE in a big way. How are you gonna handle that? So I know people were irritated with the whole Rock segment, but I really think that was some real ass shit. Cody Rhodes, as big as he is, he's a WWE champion, but he is not mainstream, and he's not somebody that's known by the everyday walking down the street casual person. He's not, but he can be. Hell, to me, I feel like Cody could boost his brand and then have his own line of suits. Cody be fucking suited and booted, bitch. But I know some people don't really like the idea of like The Rock and Cody, but I'm with The Rock, bruh. If Cody really wants to take it to the next level and he wants to like be that guy that breaks through the ceiling and breaks through the mold, the way that like I'm gonna give y'all an example. Roman right now is breaking through on the other side of just the WWE. Now, to be fair, it's simply because he's fine as hell. That man is fine as hell. So that's why he's breaking through. I mean, and you know, you're related to Raw. But it's mostly, most people don't even know that. It's simply because of how fine he is. But I can tell, like, I follow, you know, I be seeing him on TikTok and stuff. He's leaning into the fineness of it all. Lean into whatever you got to lean into, Cody. Because Roman is starting to be more of a known name outside of the WWE than you are. And you're the actual, like, this is what doesn't make sense to me. Cody is the champion. And I want y'all to think about this right here. I want y'all to think about this. Cody Rhodes is the WWE champion, right? Who is going to be on the cover? Who did Paul Heyman just show us is going to be on the cover of the WWE game this year? Roman Reigns, correct? As I said, Roman connects outside of the average WWE fan base, which is why he's on the cover. If Cody connected that way outside of WWE, he would be on the cover. Y'all don't think that's weird that he's the champion but he's not on the cover? It's because he does not translate to the average person that might be walking by and see it, or it might come by on the screen or something like that. Roman is who sticks out because he's fine as hell. I'm so sorry, Cody, but Roman is fine. So it's just like, the girls is thirsting. Period, poo. But y'all get in the comments. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Come on, bye.